There's something many people don't realize about God. Before He blesses you, He will test you, not to shame you, not to punish you, but to prepare you. Because God will never give you a blessing that your character cannot carry. He loves you too much to let success crush you. So if your life has been feeling uncomfortable, if the season you are in feels confusing, heavy, delayed, you might not be in an attack, you might be in a test. And today, we're going to talk about the 5 major tests God sends before a blessing. How to know you're currently in one, why He does it, and what your next step should be so you don't miss your breakthrough. 1. The test of patience. Let's be honest, patience is one of the hardest tests in the Christian walk. Because God doesn't rush. He doesn't panic. He doesn't move because we're tired. He moves because the time is right. Look at Abraham. God promised him a child, but the promise didn't arrive immediately. Not because God changed His mind, but because Abraham had to grow into the level of faith that could father nations. I know you may feel like your own life has been stuck in waiting mode. You're praying, you're believing, but nothing is shifting yet. Here's the truth nobody likes to admit. Waiting reveals what we truly believe about God. Anyone can trust God for 1 week, but can you trust Him for 1 year, for 3 years, for 10? The waiting season is not a punishment. It is God strengthening you so the blessing won't break you. 2. The test of silence. There are seasons when God is quiet. You pray and feel nothing. You worship and feel disconnected. You read the Bible and it feels dry. But hear me. God's silence is not His absence. Every teacher is silent during the test. When heaven feels quiet, it's usually because God has already given you everything you need for this level. Now He's waiting to see if you will trust Him even when you don't feel Him. Think about Job. He went through the darkest season of his life, and heaven was quiet. But after the silence came double restoration. Don't panic when God is quiet. That silence is often the final stage before a blessing is released. 3. The test of character. This is the test many Christians fail without realizing it. You can pray for a big blessing, but God will never give you something your character cannot sustain. Ask yourself real questions. Are you ready for the blessing you are praying for? Are you disciplined? Are you consistent? Are you trustworthy when nobody is watching? David passed the character test long before he became king. He was faithful in the field. He protected sheep. He served quietly. He honored Saul even when Saul tried to kill him. If you want God to elevate you, you have to pass the character test where nobody sees you. Promotion is always prepared in private. 4. The test of obedience. Obedience is one of the hardest tests because God will often ask you to do something that doesn't make sense. Think of Noah. God asked him to build a boat when it had never rained. Think of Abraham. God asked him to sacrifice Isaac, the very blessing He gave him. Obedience will sometimes make you look crazy, but obedience is the fast lane to breakthrough. God will always test your obedience before He trusts you with the next level. Sometimes He will ask you to walk away from a relationship. Sometimes He will ask you to shut a door. Sometimes He will ask you to forgive someone who hurt you deeply. Obedience rarely feels easy, but it always leads to blessing. 5. The test of heart attachments. Before God blesses you, He will test what owns your heart. Sometimes the blessing is delayed because your heart is too attached to something He is trying to remove. It could be a relationship, a habit, a mindset, a comfort zone, a fear, a wrong environment. God will always test what you're holding on to, not because he wants to take things from you, but because he wants to be the center of your heart. Many people pray for new things, but they are still emotionally attached to what God is trying to end. God cannot bless a version of you that no longer exists. Sometimes the test is simply, can you let go? 6. How to know you're close to a blessing. Here are the signs you're almost at your breakthrough. 1. Your spiritual warfare increases. Before the blessing comes, the enemy will try to distract you. 2. Your old habits suddenly feel uncomfortable. That's the Holy Spirit stretching you. 3. Opportunities begin to shift. Some doors close, but new ones start appearing. 4. Your hunger for God increases. Even if life feels heavy, your spirit wants more of God. If you're experiencing this, you're close. Listen, whatever test you're in right now is not random. God saw this day before you were even born. You're not behind. You're not forgotten. You're not being punished. God is preparing you for what you prayed for. Every test has a purpose, and every purpose leads to a blessing. Stay faithful. Stay obedient. Stay hopeful. Your blessing is coming, and it will arrive right on time. Kindly subscribe to Bible Verse Light for more daily encouragement.